Hey everybody, it's Aaron and I'm back. Today, uh, this isn't going to be really the normal kind of Pixelmon video that I would do. Hey, look, a boss Pidgeotto that I probably can't beat since my only Pokemon. Screw it.
Ivysaur. 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 Ivysaur.
Ivysaur. So this. Sorry about that. I didn't expect to run into something like this.
Ivysaur.
Um, so this episode's gonna be a little different. Let's see. Today I'm making this extremely early Wednesday morning. You'll be seeing this later on in the morning.
Ivysaur.
But the yesterday they did the major.
Ivysaur.
This week is E3 2013. If you're watching this at way later date, fastball disc, Giga Impact, and frustration. Giga Impact ain't bad. Um, we are so it's E3 2013, like I was saying. They released a bunch more information about Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, and so instead of my usual,
Charmander.
oh, Charmander, damn.
Ekans.
Frickin' Ekans.
Charmander. Ekans.
Oh man, apparently I didn't heal like an idiot.
Charmander.
Sounds about right for me.
Ekans.
So they released a bunch of new information, and so this episode
Charmander.
isn't really going to be. It's being titled. I'm going to title it under my Pixelmon stuff, but it is not going to be
Charmander.
Pixelmon in the same way that I normally do Pixelmon. And we're going to discuss some of
Charmander.
the stuff that came out. You can watch me fail. As my poor dude got beat up. Um,
Charmander.
and I'll profess this a little bit by saying that I don't know if I agree 100% with everything that they've decided to do. Unfortunately, I was not at E3, so I was not able to sit in. They did a live 90-minute QA, and I obviously wasn't there, so I had to follow Twitter and all that fun stuff to learn what I could. Um, but the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about right away. Oh crap! Whew. I think I fell in that once before last time I was over here. Uh, muck, 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 muck. Is the new type. They're adding a new type. And I can honestly say I was not expecting the type that they added. And I did expect that Sylveon was a new type. I was kind of in the boat with a lot of other people, though, and thought that it might be a light type, as an opposite to dark type of thing. And that was truly what I kind of thought it would end up being. I did suspect some of the stuff that still ended up happening. Like the buzz, and so some of that stuff is they with adding fairy type, they also have retyped some of the older Pokemon. We don't know how many right now. They only announced a few. And I can honestly say only one of them out of the others that they listed, and I'm not going to be able to remember all of them right now, shocked me. And I can see it, so I wasn't super floored by it or anything, but, and that was that Sylveon isn't going to be the only fairy type Pokemon, and some of the others that they announced are Marill is now a water fairy type. Jigglypuff is now a normal fairy type. I would be just amazed if they didn't end up making uh, Clefairy, Clefable, Cleffa, fairy types, because that they are fairies. Same thing with Snubble is another Pokemon that is probably would be overlooked, but I suspect all of them will most likely be. The one that took me by surprise was Gardevoir, who is a psychic type Pokemon, the evolution of the Ralts, Kirlia, Gardevoir, the counterpart to Galade, which is a psychic fighting type Pokemon, which is a pretty cool Pokemon, really. But anyway, Gardevoir was announced to be fairy type, which is pretty interesting. The other thing that is interesting about fairy types, we don't know a lot about them yet. They haven't announced what their weaknesses are and stuff. The only thing they did announce is that this is finally a straight counter to dragon type Pokemon, aside from using ice moves or ice types. And it seems like that was the major intent behind the fairy type Pokemon. I could be wrong, I'm not a developer as much as I would love to be a Pokemon developer. So I don't know for sure, but that's my suspicion. So for the record here, I just came into the jungle here because I wanted to grab some wood. I like to cut down the big 4 trees. And I was a dumbass and I didn't bother to bring another axe. So that was the big reveal, I guess, that they did, and I think it's kind of interesting. I it's hard for me to say, and I really am disappointed in myself to some extent because I studied. Part of what I did when I went to school, went to college, is I actually studied a lot of old English literature and stuff, and things like the story or the poem or whatever you want to call it, the Fairy Queen. And I don't recall anything about this specifically, but the supposed reason for fairy being good against dragon is this: there's supposedly a mythological connections between fairy magic usually being used to defeat dragons. And I can honestly admit I'm a little disappointed in myself that I can't say if that is absolutely true or not, because I don't recall, and that's pretty sad, really. But anyway, what the hell are my sound effects at? Loud enough, apparently. So some of the other things, they announced some other interesting features that they're adding. Um, and I realize I haven't talked a lot about X and Y, Pokemon X and Y, and um, I'm not really sure why I haven't. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, as it should be fairly obvious, as I'm playing a frickin' Minecraft Pokemon mod. Uh, but I've been extremely excited for X and Y now for quite some time, since they started to reveal a lot more of the information about it. In fact, I went so far as to buy a damn 3DS specifically to play that game when it comes out. Uh, but they announced a couple more of the new Pokemon, so there are more than they released, I believe, a handful at some point, like 4 of them. And I had heard rumor, and I don't recall from where exactly, that was going to be those 4 were going to be the only new Pokemon in the generation other than the starters, and or at least their evolutionary line, anyway. And that does not appear to be the case, which is great. Like, hands down, that is awesome news. So, one of the new things that I think is really interesting, and I am interested in seeing where it goes, is a feature called Pokemon Ami, and it's basically a pet simulator type situation that you get to do with your Pokemon, more so than they've ever done before. You can do things like pet your Pokemon, you can feed them, you can do tricks with them, play games with them. Um, to some extent, it's almost what it really reminded me of in watching the video is that Hey You Pikachu, which was an N64 game, I believe, that used a microphone and you literally communicated with Pikachu. The game itself wasn't, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't amazing, but it was a fine game. But it seems similar to that. But way more developed, which is really cool. So, one thing I am going to do is I will have, there will be a link below to a website that I follow for pretty much anything Pokemon related that I am interested in reading about anymore. And it's called Cerebi, which, for those of you that don't know, is the Japanese name for Celebi here. But they are very good about getting stuff up as they get the chance, which is fantastic. So you can check out more stuff there. One of the other notes, I guess, in the QA, somebody asked about IVs and EVs, which are inherited values and then effort values. And IVs, I can't think of the actual word for I for the in the IV right now, but inherited is basically what it is really. Apparently, they're going to be doing something to make those more apparent in this generation, which I think sounds kind of interesting. I will say one other thing. One of the new Pokemon they introduced is a sound-based wyvern, Noivern, I think is what it was called, and I find that to be incredibly entertaining looking. You should certainly look up a picture of it if you haven't seen it yet, because it's a dragony looking thing with huge frickin' speakers on its above its, well, basically for its ears, I guess. So, but yeah, the big thing is the announcement of Fairy Pokemon. There is already backlash from some people. I think, in truth, I think it's probably a good direction for the game. It changes things up, and we haven't seen this since the second generation, so it's really going to be interesting, I guess, to see exactly what happens with this. But anyway, I think I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. I realize this is going to be taking the place of my normal Wednesday Pixelmon video that I do for you guys. I will be getting back to that like normal here right away next week. I do want to take another minute, I guess, to talk about my general schedule, because it is. I further revised it again, and I know I keep doing this, but I'm trying to find what works for me. And I decided that instead of doing 3 Pixelmon related videos a week, I'm going to go down to 2. And one will be this series on my single player map here, and the other one is actually going to be the one I've been doing on Mondays. I think this is the 3rd week I've done it, based off of the Kanto anime map. And it's been a really interesting series. I don't focus so much on the training of Pokemon or trying to catch Pokemon in that one. I will try to start doing a bit more of that for the sake of doing it. But like I said, the other one will be this, and then I'm going to leave Fridays to kind of be a wild card day for me, because I have a new series I want to introduce, and it's about the only time that I decided I would, or it's not the only time, but after thinking about it, I decided ultimately that I think this is what I'd rather do, and so Fridays will probably be random stuff, and the series itself, the new series, may be more regular. It may be really regular. It may not be regular at all. I haven't. It's going to be a very different series. It's going to be the first major opinion series for me that I'll have done. But the video for it can be from will probably be from whatever I'm randomly playing at the time. So you may see Minecraft, you may see Pixelmon, you may see Feed the Beast. Lord only knows. To speak to some of my other videos, there's a Nidorino down there. I think we're gonna go ahead and call this good and head back home. Also, real quick on the Fridays, you'll also get you'll still get like the Pokemon specials, the Pixelmon specials that I've been doing on my multiplayer server. I've got at least two more. I'm thinking two more videos for that. That looks I don't know. No comment. Um, I lost my train of thought there. Well, okay. So to speak real quick to some of the other stuff, some of the other content that I put up, mainly my group related videos. Lately, I've been doing League of Legends, which I've got quite a bit of that left, and we'll probably continue doing that fairly randomly. Execute. I haven't seen any of those yet. Cool. Um, but the three of us as a group, we have taken to calling ourselves Team Failboat now, to fairly accurately describe how bad we are at a lot of the stuff that we do. Um, we decided, well, through stupidity, probably mainly on my part, with my computer, we lost the last, I think, two some hours of our Dead Island series. So that series has been stuck at episode 28 or 29 now for a couple weeks. We do plan on going, and we went on to go ahead and finish playing the game when we were playing it. But we plan on coming back, and we will finish it. We've just, with everything that we've got going on, we've just been so dang busy that nobody's had a chance to really. I need to pull my head out of my rear. We've all been so busy, it's been hard for us to get together and do stuff. But it is coming sooner than later, probably. And then we did start our next series that we're going to do, and that is Borderlands 2. And so I've got a couple videos that I am putting together for that, and that will be airing. I don't know if that'll be this week or not. It'll be next week, most likely for sure. And everybody should be able to get back together, and we can get cracking on that stuff again. I think that handles most of my channel related stuff. As of right now, I still plan on doing 2 videos a week of Feed the Beast and 2 videos a week of this, of Pixelmon related stuff. I know that I'm behind on my Feed the Beast stuff. I've just got back from a bunch of crazy life related things and the technical issues I was having, and so I just haven't had a chance to get on that again. But I will be doing so. This week we'll definitely get one episode in for you. So anyway, I appreciate your time listening to me ramble for a while and my thoughts on the new Pokemon type. I will say that I'm incredibly interested to see what they end up doing as far as weakness goes. I am really interested to see what they do with that. But yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it good here. Look for the new series I'm starting to be this Friday, because I plan on doing that. I plan on trying to get that done here within the next day or two and get that put up for you guys, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's, like I said, it's going to be very different from my normal stuff, as it's going to be extremely heavily opinionated, which I haven't done a lot of that. But I plan on trying to do a little bit more so you guys can learn more about me. Actually, I think we want to go this way. So, as always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.